Well, good evening. On behalf of the Board of Governors and the entire overworked, underpaid, and absolutely terrific staff of the Middle East Institute, welcome. Welcome to the 64th Annual Conference of the Middle East Institute. This evening we'll be honoring an extraordinary man, His Excellency, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Lebanon, Issam Fares. Mr. Fares has had a remarkable career as a successful businessman, a national patriot, a leader of his country, and more recently, a promoter of education, health, peace, social welfare in his country and in ours. And it comes as no surprise at all to any of you, to any of us, that Mr. Fares is a close friend of another brilliant man, also known for his contribution to his nation and the world, and more recently, for his innovative commitment to international development and philanthropy, former President Bill Clinton. The banquet this evening opens our 64th annual conference with the theme tomorrow, Rethinking the Middle East in Transition. And I sincerely hope that all of you will join us here in this room tomorrow morning at 8:45 as our guest for a full day of conferencing. We'll feature 4 panels. The distinguished scholars and practitioners will examine and analyze where we're going in the future in the Middle East. And we will have a separate private luncheon with our guest speaker, Palestinian negotiator, Dr. Saeb Erekat. In addition to welcoming Dr. Saeb Erekat this evening, it's also my honor to recognize a long list of dignitaries who've joined us this evening to honor the President Clinton and Issam Fares. We're joined this evening by Secretary of Transportation Ray Lahoud and his wife, Ambassador Mekor of Morocco, Ambassador Hussanab representing the Arab League, Ambassador Mustafa of Syria, Ambassador Sumadai of Iraq, Ambassador Ojali of Libya, Ambassador Jubair of Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Shadid of Lebanon, Ambassador Nonou of Bahrain, Ambassador Tekaya of Tunisia, Ambassador Baran of Jordan, the PLO representative Mayin Erekat, and in addition, we have former ambassador to the United States from Saudi Arabia, Prince Turki bin Faisal, Ambassador Barras, the Swiss ambassador to the UN, Ambassador Sabkow, the Polish ambassador to the UN, who's a member of the Middle East Institute, the Metropolitan Philippe Saliba, His Excellency, the former Commander-in-Chief of CENTCOM, General Zeni, General Jalwan, both who've served their nation with distinction. And we're also very grateful that the charming and witty Riz Khan of Al Jazeera will be joining us this evening as Master of Ceremonies. And finally, and perhaps mostly, a very sincere welcome to the entire Fares family, who are just delightful people, and I've had the pleasure to get to know over the last day. The Honorable Secretary Ray Lahoud will now present the Middle East Institute's Award for Excellence to Mr. Issam Fares. In nominating Mr. Lahoud a couple of years ago as Secretary of Transportation, President Obama said at that time that few people really understand infrastructure challenges better than this outstanding individual public servant that he was nominating as Secretary of the Department of Transportation. And in a short time, only 2 years, Secretary Lahoud has made significant policy changes. He's passed legislation increasing airline passenger rights. He's pushed for driving safety laws. He's seeking improved high-speed transportation, and these are just a few of his many accomplishments. So please join me in welcoming the Honorable Ray LaHood.
Well, good evening, everyone. President Clinton, ambassadors, distinguished guests all. I am delighted to be able to make this presentation. I was in Houston earlier this year at Nijad Ferris's home for dinner, and he told me of this event and asked me if I would present this very distinguished gentleman with this excellent, outstanding award. And of course, I wanted to do it. I want to tell all of you that I am proud to do it. I'm also very proud of the fact that Nijad asked me to do it. And this award goes to one of the most outstanding citizens of our country. And 16 months ago, as you know, President Obama traveled to Cairo and pledged to make a new beginning between the United States and the Middle East. I agree with that. And for all of us who love Lebanon, he mentioned the Maronites, and that struck our hearts very, very well, I can tell you that. He affirmed that new beginning would be rooted in mutual interest and mutual respect, and he committed America, in his words, to, and I quote, finding common ground, focusing on the future we seek for our children, and respecting the dignity of all human beings. Tonight, we celebrate 64 years of MEI's remarkable work on behalf of that same noble purpose, a cause that's critical to peace, security, and prosperity in the 21st century. And over the course of MEI's 64 years, few individuals have played a more significant role in advancing that mission than our friend that we honor here tonight, His Excellency Assam Ferris. As many of you know, His Excellency has dedicated his career and life to promoting stability, democracy, and well-being in Lebanon, the Middle East, and around the world. He served as Deputy Prime Minister of Lebanon from 2000 to 2005, and as a member of Lebanon's parliament from 1996 to 2005, a period during which he championed democracy, reconstruction, and economic progress. Previously, His Excellency founded dozens of corporations that created tens and thousands of jobs, as well as the Ferris Foundation, which supports Lebanese public health, welfare, and education without regard to religion or ideology. This is no small record of accomplishment for a man who hails from Beino, Lebanon, about 70 kilometers from a small village of now 200 called Aitu, where my grandfather began his journey to America 115 years ago. Scripture tells us, blessed are the peacemakers. Your Excellency, you are a global ambassador of progress and prosperity, a peacemaker of the highest order, which is why I'm so deeply honored to be able to present to you the Middle East Institute's 2010 Award for Excellence. If you will come to the podium, I will present you with this cherished honor.